Hey, good morning, everyone. Just a couple of moments, and we will get started. Just give everyone a couple of moments. I see people are still logging in. All right, one more second. Almost there. I just see the last couple of people logging in. Apologies for the delay. Okay. All right, great. Well, we'll get started. Good afternoon and good morning, and thanks for joining this webinar today. So the goal of this today is I kind of go back to when I was in grad school, and I had a law professor who said that her goal was not to make us lawyers, but to be good consumers of the law. And that's sort of the idea with today's webinar. I'm not here to make you an AI expert, but to really make you a pretty good consumer of AI and to learn and know the questions you should be asking with the vendors that you're working with in helping to guide you into this next phase of the web or the internet. So briefly, as we get started, just to kind of give you a very brief overview of who and what. Let me just pull one thing up. Yep, there we are. So Spark Hudson, thanks for joining. If you don't know anything about Spark Hudson, we're a boutique hotel advisory and consulting firm, and we work with hotel operations, revenue management, finance, accounting, asset management, and capital advisory. Our company was founded in 2022 by myself and my business partner, Ruben Ortega. And we serve both branded and independent assets, both domestically and internationally. Ultimately, our mission is to deliver above market returns and align incentives and ensure operational transparency. And why that matters, or why that's important, in this era of AI and technology, reshaping guest touch points, strategy is going to be inseparable from execution. So Spark Hudson, we focus on advisory and hands-on management to help bridge the gap in insights. So we're really trying to embed resilience and agility into the hotels that we work with and your hotel assets. Just briefly about me, I think I know many of you that are on the call, but for those that don't, I'm in my third decade of hotel management. My career spans hotel operations, revenue strategy, finance, asset management, and ownership across branded and independent properties. I've held leadership positions with branded, Marriott, Hilton, and Starwood hotels, as well as some independent hotels. We currently, one of our primary strengths is distribution and revenue management as a company. And my role in the organization is I lead that particular function. And that's my email on the line there if you have any follow-up questions that may not be that I don't answer. All right, so kind of getting into it. So as we move ahead, sorry about this here. Okay, yep, perfect. It's simple. If you're not in the AI answer, you no longer exist. And the world is rapidly changing, and AI is still new for many people, but we're already there. This is not something that's coming at a later date. We are already in the AI world, is where we are. And so I want to talk about from blue links to AI answers, just to give you some context. So for over 20 years, hotels have fought for search rankings. Well, that era is now gone overall. We're moving away from that. Google's AI overviews and other generative systems don't give travelers 10 choices to choose from. They now give one synthesized recommendation, and that's really important. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. 42% of leisure travelers already are using AI for trip planning, and that has been a double-digit jump in just 1 year. And these platforms not only deconstruct complex queries like find me a pet-friendly hotel near the Boston Commons with parking for this October weekend, people are looking for those specific questions like you would ask it. And if you don't have all of those pieces in your digital strategy, then you're not going to be optimized for AI, and the AI is not going to find you. So the key driver here is discoverability is no longer about being seen on some long list. It's really about hotels that have chosen to be the answer to guest questions that they're looking for and guest solutions. So visibility is being redefined as we speak. So we are quickly moving toward, and this is really powerful, we're quickly moving toward a zero-click reality. Travelers can book now based solely on AI summaries without ever visiting your website. And this should get your attention. The days of WIMP, which is an acronym, if you haven't heard it, that stands for Windows, Icons, Menus, and Pull Downs, are about to be over. Trust is the new currency. AI is now going to cross-check what you claim on your website and what you claim in your data strategy versus guest reviews and OTAs and social media. So if your data isn't verified on the other side, you're going to quickly vanish from the overall answer that AI is going to be providing. The battleground is quickly shifting. It's no longer about backlinks and keywords. It's about consistency, variable signals, which we'll talk about across every platform, reviews, structured data, and local listings. So here's the risk. Outdated OTA listings, inconsistent NAP, or which is name, address, and phone numbers, or weak review management are going to cost you, don't just cost you a booking on one site, they're going to poison your overall discoverability across the entire AI ecosystem. And that's going to be really important as we dig into this. So this is sort of our playbook that we're going to discuss today. Where the presentation's broken down into 4 sections. So first, we're going to talk about discovery and trust. We're going to look at reviews and reputation signals, which, by the way, is the most important aspect that AI is reading. We're going to talk a little bit about structured data and metadata. We're going to look at local reference and geo-optimization. We're going to talk about FAQs and conversational content that you should have in all of your digital platforms. Voice readiness. You need to make sure that your digital strategy is optimized for spoken queries. Visual assets. We need to talk about video and photographs because AI reads all of those pieces. Staying fresh and relevant. Freshness signals show the pulse of your property, and that's really important in AI. That's already important in SEO optimization. Social OTA distribution, cross-channel storytelling, predictive competitive monitoring, tracking AI visibility. We're going to talk about some of the new KPIs and analytics, measurable discovery and not clicks. That's the name of the game now. And generative platform experiments. We want to make sure that you're playing with and getting early adapter advantages by working with AI platforms across the board. By the way, as a little bit of trivia, something that AI cannot do today, it will have mastered within 7 months from now. So the world is quickly moving. So don't think because you were playing with AI 6 months ago on what does my dog look like as a person, that world is quickly evolving. So reviews are no longer marketing. Reviews are now your judgment day. And it's something I think from the distribution and sales and marketing perspective that we've not really given a great deal of thought to over time. piece. So we really need to think about reviews as we move ahead. So what are the implications for that? Why do reviews matter? Well, AI isn't interested in polished marketing copy. AI today digests thousands of guest voices, and it's going to deliver a verdict. Every star, every sentence, every complaint is now part of your permanent record and your digital footprint. Reviews are now being verified. Reviews are verification at scale. If you don't know how AI works now, AI is cross-checking your structured data against guest reviews to decide if your information is trustworthy or not. So what this means is, let's say on your website you say we have a pet-friendly hotel, but on TripAdvisor or on the OTA reviews, people write, oh, they said that they didn't allow dogs at the hotel, or there was a big charge for dogs when I got to the hotel, and nothing was mentioned about that. AI now is going to say, well, you said that you were pet-friendly hotel, that you welcome pets, but the guest reviews are telling us something else. So because the data from the guest is now going to start canceling out what you've said, and therefore that information, when someone's Googling, are you a pet, or when they're looking in AI for discoverability, are you a pet-friendly hotel? You're not going to be optimized for that, because the reality of what guests and consumers are saying versus what you're saying is mismatched. So the stories don't line up. So this is why that everything that's in your digital footprint is aligned. Attribute-rich reviews matter more than vague praise. So if a guest writes, love the curtains, the blackout curtains before my big meeting, is certainly definitely a lot more valuable than we had a great stay. That's a lot more valuable piece for the AI and for your hotel. And as sort of a pro tip, what you want to do now, so used to, and I think for many on this call, when we started working with guest reviews years ago, we used to have sort of boilerplates. I know I did. You had sort of boilerplate answers that you were responding to a guest review. And one of the things that we now need to do in our guest reviews, which are really important, if a guest said the complimentary shuttle was great, when whoever's responding to those guest reviews replies to that, they need to reinforce that message. So the answer might be, we're glad you enjoyed our 24-hour complimentary service. We're always available whenever you call or whatever you need, etc. So you need to take whatever the guest has said, especially in a positive aspect, and you need to reinforce that in your answer. Because now what's happening is AI is going to see the guest commentary, and they're going to see your commentary, and AI is going to realize, okay, these pieces are now matching. So that's going to give you a stronger piece on your overall AI discoverability attribute score, which is not really a score, but it's internal in the algorithms. AI is condensing hundreds of reviews into a single sentence that a traveler sees first. That summary is going to be far more powerful than your website will ever be, in that those 30 words or those 20 words describing your hotel based on what the guest has asked. So that's why reviews matter. So what can you do about it? Well, here's your actionable items. You need to train staff to solicit more details from the guest when they're writing. So when we're asking guests to leave us a good review, we might want to start bringing to their mind, well, what did you enjoy most about the hotel? And if they say, how did you enjoy the pool cabanas? So you want to get the guest to think about those attribute-driven pieces so that they'll write about that particular situation in their review, and not just, I had a great stay. This is really important. If you haven't heard this already, you need to respond to guest reviews within 24 hours or less. And like I talked about earlier, you need to mirror those positive attributes in your replies. And you're not just talking to the guest, you're training the algorithm. This is really important because AI now, depending on the AI platform, but AI will look at the reviews and when the guest left a review and look at your response time. So if you're only answering reviews once every 5 days or every 6 days, AI is going to interpret that as, well, you're not really very guest responsive. a guest left a review on Saturday and you didn't get around to responding to it till the next Friday, AI is going to code that and say this is not a guest responsive hotel. So again, sort of in its internal thinking and algorithms, it's going to start moving you further down the list in terms of its in your searchability. It's not to say you're going to disappear, but it is part of that of 1,000 pieces of the equation. You need to deploy sentiment analysis to spot patterns like slow check-ins before they, before they turn into major reputational issues. So if you're reading your reviews and you see, slow line at the buffet or you see long lines at check-in, you need to start working on those items before they start showing up in lots of reviews. And again, the more they're showing up, the more that AI is going to say, well, this is a problem when it's trying to recommend your hotel. So you definitely need to stay on top of those issues because, again, going back, AI is going to cancel out whatever marketing you've put into your website. All those thousands of dollars that you've spent on that is going to get totally annihilated or wiped out based on reviews. Just to give you a couple of quick definitions, sentiment is the emotional tone and guest feedback, and it can be positive, neutral, or negative. And a sentiment analysis is sort of AI scanning reviews at scale to look for specific patterns. Staff was rude would be flagged as a negative service sentiment, while love the rooftop bar is a positive amenity sentiment. So output looks like output looks like a dashboard showing percentage positive and negative mentions by category: cleanliness, food, check-in, and food. So one of the actionable items you want to do is start thinking about how you might want to start tracking that internally and looking at that on a very regular basis as we move forward. There'll be some more tips and tricks as we come up, but this is just kind of get your head thinking. So really important now with AI is no schema, no story, no sell. So first of all, what is schema? Well, schema you can think of as like a name tag at a conference. Without it, nobody knows who you are or what you do. And AI is the same. It needs structured labels to see you. So schema markup is really behind the scenes coding that tells AI who you are. So it's like, this is a hotel, these are rooms, this is a pool, gym, EV charger, this is our address, telephone number, hours. Without schema, AI is going to see your website as a blank face in the crowd. And with schema, you're properly introduced to the world and surfaced results. I'm going to show you a few links of how you can start understanding what your schema looks like. So for example, if someone searches hotels with rooftop bars near me, only hotels that tagged rooftop bar will show up. If you didn't tag as if your rooftop bar, if you didn't tag it, it's going to be like your rooftop bar does not exist. So schema, you'll want to learn that word as part of your new vocabulary and this new age. Schema is incredibly important as you look on your data structuring. And again, you don't have to be the expert at knowing this, but these are what you put on your list for whoever you're hiring to work on your working on your AI optimization. Schema is really important point to discuss. So here's your actionable moves. You should audit your schema across homepage, room pages, dining outlets. You can use Google's rich results test to expose your gaps. So you can go to schema.org. That's the official directory of schema tags at the website that I've got there. And again, I'll send this out on Monday with the sort of a directory for everyone that participates today. You can look at your Google Rich Results Test. These are free tools to check if your schema is working. And you can also do Wikidata. And if you haven't structured your hotel in Wikidata, I recommend that you do that. I will tell you that with Spark Hudson, we're always playing with our schema data or Wikipedia or Wikidata, just so we can experiment with it on a pretty regular basis to know where data is coming from, and if we make a tweak here, a tweak there, how does it affect our overall discoverability from an AI perspective. You're going to want to implement hotel room and the FAQ page and offer schemas first because they're going to carry the most weight. So Audit your schemas across your homepage, your room pages, your dining outlets. When you go to these websites, and again, whoever's doing your AI, they can look at how your schemas are structured and laid out. And if you can, I would try to also look at your competitors. How are their schemas laid out? Because it might be a good thing to know competitively, how are they competing? How are you competing with them? And then you want to go beyond the basics. Tag unique features like gluten-free dining, Peloton bikes, pet service spa or pet spa services. These long tail details will help drive high conversion searches for your guests as they're looking for your hotel and a place to stay. So consistency matters more than ever. 40%, greater than 40% of hotel searches are location specific, near me, by convention center. So look at your Google business profile. That is no longer a static listing. It's your front desk. It's your front desk online. Even tiny inconsistencies such as ST abbreviation versus street or an outdated phone number are going to erode AI's trust in you. And when trust starts dropping, you're not going to surface on AI. So you're going to want to make sure that your addresses, everything are very consistent. You want to own, you want your hotel to own the near me moment, or you're going to vanish. Most travelers are seconds from booking, and if you're missing, your competitor is going to pick up that booking at the end of the day. I'll show you a little bit what I mean by that in this next slide. So what you want to do is treat your Google business profile like your hotel's mini website. You want to try to post weekly updates, new photos, local events, special, preload common Q&As, like do you have free parking? So guests and AI are going to see you as the authority versus a Reddit page or some other source. You're going to want to audit your NAP, your name, address, phone number everywhere. Your contact information must perfectly match across Google, Expedia, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, and even your own branded website. As I said, small differences like street versus ST will confuse AI and can knock you out of local results. Benchmark your competitors and verify, and you may want to, if you're in the United States, or even in some foreign countries, I see we have some international attendees today, you want to verify what is the address convention that you're using. So if you go to the U.S. Postal Service, find my zip code, I think we've all done that. You probably want to have your address matching what the U.S. Postal Service lists as your proper address, even with, I would go as far as even your zip +4 to make sure that is complete. And then you want to make sure that is consistent across every platform that you're working with. You want to optimize your site for mobile. I can't emphasize this enough. Speed is survival. And I know all of you probably like myself, I go to search something, it takes too long, I move on to the next site because people are now, as they get more adaptive to AI, we are becoming conditioned by the technology to expect answers in a split second. Because AI gives me answers in such a rapid pace, I get really frustrated when things take longer than a few seconds to answer. So optimize your mobile site. Speed is survival. Most near me searches happen on smartphones. When people are planning a trip, they're on their smartphone and go, well, what's near the convention center, etc. So if your website is slow or clunky, travelers are going to move on. Ensure fast load times, click to call buttons, and simple navigation so a guest can book in 30 seconds flat or less. And you want to test, and test again. That's the critical piece of it. You want to constantly test these out on various different platforms and make sure you're getting a speedy and quick reply. Moving on to the next piece here. If you can't be spoken, you won't be found. Now we've all got the various apps in our home like Alexa, Google, or even the one I won't say because every device on my desk will go off, but that one that's with Apple. So you need to think about when people are talking to their AI, any of those platforms, what kind of questions are they going to be answering? And like many of you on this call, I've spent my career trying to figure out, oh, what's the most professional, nicest wording and copy that we can have written for our websites and that we put into the world. But this is going to require sort of a different way of thinking. You need to think how your guests talk. And that's how you need to be writing your websites and your copy on your websites, is the way that people talk and not so much what is formal type of copy that we've traditionally done. FAQs matter more than ever now. So AI is a question and answer machine, and you need to feed it your answers, or somebody else is going, or somebody else will. Travelers now type or speak full of questions. Does this hotel have free parking near the airport? AI breaks questions into sub-questions and pulls out the clearest answers. So example, in does the hotel have free parking near the airport? AI is going to break that down into tokens. That's probably another word you want to highlight if you're not familiar with it. But a token is a small chunk of meaning, like a word or a phrase. So tokens would be hotel, free parking, near airport. Each one of those is a token. Hotel, free parking, near airport are 3 tokens. And each token is going to get matched against your content. So when someone says, does this hotel have free parking near the airport? Those tokens, that sentence is going to get broken down into tokens, and the AI is going to be searching for those answers to answer that question that's been asked by a guest. If you don't have the answers in a Q&A format, AI is going to default to OTAs or other competitors that are doing a better job at answering those questions than you are. So you really need to think about these FAQs. So what can you do? What's actionable about that? Well, you need to collect real guest questions. Ask your front desk, what kind of questions are people asking at the front desk? Are your operators in your hotel, to maybe keep a log of questions that are being answered. Look at your reviews. What words are people using when they write reviews or ask questions? These are going to be your FAQ goldmine, and you should create a catalog. Your FAQs should sound like the voice of your guest, not some type of formal written copy. Build simple FAQ pages, short, direct answers, 30 or 60 words. And again, write like a guest speaks, not like a lawyer. Use FAQ schema. This signals to AI, here's the official answers from the source. AI is going to recognize your schema as an official answer. You need to update this regularly, add seasonal or trending questions like, do you offer holiday packages? AI is looking for the most current information, just like SEO optimization does. Voice matters. So if your content sounds robotic, Alexa and that one from Apple will skip you. Voice searches are long and natural. What's the best hotel near the convention center with a gym and late checkout? Voice equals local intent. Many searches are phrased like near me, best hotel near me with a free breakfast. If you're not optimized locally, you won't be read out. Conversational style wins. Instead of check-in time 3 p.m., you need to phrase it as guests can check in anytime after 3 p.m. because that's how people ask questions. You don't ask your AI and you don't ask your devices like Alexa, check-in time, what is it? You don't ask questions like a robot. You ask it like it's phrased here. And AI prefers short, clear answers under 30 words to read aloud. Most voice searches happen on the phone. Speed and mobile design, again, are extremely critical as you look ahead. Extremely critical. Actionable moves on this. You need to read everything that's on your digital content out loud. If it sounds clunky, rewrite it conversationally. You need to ask common questions: who, what, when, where, how, why. That's how people ask Alexa and the Apple one. You need to keep it short. You need to write your answers under 30 words so AI can read them calmly. You need to add phrases like near me. So for example, our hotel near the convention center offers free parking. And you can check your mobile speed. This is a Google free page speed insight tool. And you want to aim for under 3 seconds. And so Again, we'll provide on Monday, I'll provide you with a link to all these sites, but that pagespeed.web.dev is the Google Speed Insight. It'll tell you how fast or slow your website is progressing. Visuals matter now more than ever. AI doesn't just read your site, it sees it. And by the way, AI is going to compare your beautiful photographs to what's on TripAdvisor or to other content that guests have been written. Just like written reviews, it's going to be looking at that as well. So again, operations these days is more important. Operations now is almost inseparable from sales and marketing as we journey into this new world. AI can see photos and match them with user queries. Which hotel in Miami have rooftop pools like this? AI can see that. It'll look for that visual of the rooftop pool and it'll pull that into the search. AI matches photos with searches. A guest searching for a hotel with a pool, you may want to have photos of kids splashing in a pool, but only if it's tagged correctly. This is really important now more than ever. Bad file names equals invisibility. So a lot of us have this IMG underscore 123 or whatever silly naming convention that we've had for the years. Well, that tells AI nothing, and AI is not going to pick up on that. AI is actually reading the file name of your photographic images. So you're going to want to make sure that you label those images properly. Family suite, ocean view, JPEG, and maybe even put, the name of your hotel in that line, because that's going to put you into the game. You need to pay attention to these details because AI is paying attention to every one of these details at a massive scalable, in a massive scalable way. Metadata, file names, alternate text and tags. It tells AI what's in your picture. So if you have some alternate text that you can put into your picture files, you'll want to do that so that AI can not only see it, but it can also read it. And video is increasingly indexed. Expedia is already pioneering converting Instagram Reels into bookable trips. I know we have some Expedia folks online, and that's really been a focus for their organization also. So you'll want to make sure that you're really looking at your video indexing as we move forward. So here's your actionable to-do items. Go in, you want to have over time, you want to rename all of those images that you have online with a proper descriptive name. So swap the IM or whatever your naming convention is for rooftop Miami hotel pool. You want to use alternate text in your images. King suite with balcony overlooking Central Park. You want to tag unique features, highlight what sells, gluten-free dining, Peloton bikes, pet-friendly rooms. Those should be tags in your images. Add short videos, 15 to 30 seconds, a lobby walkthrough, rooftop bar, or pool tour. And this is most important. You want to post everywhere. Upload your images and videos to your website. You want to upload them to Google Business Profiles, YouTube, because AI is scanning all of them. And so you want to have every place that you can possibly post your video content or pictures, you want to have them posted everywhere that you can and get that robust coverage. Next section, if you look stale, you are stale. So keep that in mind. I've seen hotels that haven't updated, they only update their website once a year because it's a pain. I think the biggest transition that we as an industry have to understand is that this stuff is dynamic. Just like how we change our prices every day and every week, our digital footprint and marketing is highly dynamic. And we can no longer just wait, oh, we'll do that once a year, we're going to update and refresh our website. This is a daily activity in the most micro form of the stage. And it's something that we need to be considering that we need to look at every single day. So why freshness matters. AI search systems and OTAs reward recency, new photos, current information, and active posts, sign readability to both the travelers and the algorithms. Stale pages, old menus, outdated amenities, and last year's events reduce trust and lower your visibility. You need to treat freshness like digital housekeeping. If your digital footprint looks neglected, people are going to assume that it is. And where to refresh most and often is your Google Business Profile, your website, and your OTA listings, because that's what's being picked up by AI. So your actionable items, your actionable moves. Weekly, you should add at least one Google Business Profile post, an event, an offer, what's new, a recent photo. That link there that I'll provide has some how-to ways for you to do that. If you want to have somebody on your team do that, it can be planned as part of your revenue strategy calls. What are we going to post about for the next 7 days? But make that a weekly activity to update that on a weekly basis. Monthly, you need to make sure to audit and refresh your menus, events, room copy, and rotate your homepage and hero image seasonally. Change your images on OTA and your website for holidays and seasons. So for example, when you're moving into the booking window for summer, you want to have images with a pool. And when you're moving into winter season, you want to have images with snow. Doesn't mean you have to replace all your images, but certainly some of your hero images, you'll want AI to pick that up and to see those images because people may ask the question is, where's the best place for me to go for a winter vacation? So you'll definitely want to have those type of images online for AI to pick you up and figure out where you are. Quarterly, you want to audit your amenities and policies across all of your site and OTAs for accuracies. Remove outdated content. And again, we talk about consistency. If it says something on one channel, it needs to say it on all of them because again, it's about trust and AI trusting. Your review cadence, you want to encourage a steady flow of new reviews and you want to reply promptly to show ongoing care, as we discussed earlier. And then speed checks. After you do any kind of media updates, you want to run your homepage through the page speed insights and you want to fix any regressions because you don't want that to slow down. So these are actionable items that you should be doing in a proper disciplined fashion like we would do anything else in discipline to be successful. Consistency wins. Guests don't see channels, they see one brand. If your hotel name, photos, or amenities differ across sites, it erodes trust and cuts conversations. Inconsistent details are costing you money. A Cornell study found a single bad or outdated listing can reduce bookings by 20%. That is a huge number. OTAs and partner portals monitor listing compliances and quality. Missing details will lower your visibility in search results. Your headlines promise free breakfast, rooftop pool, pet friendly, and hero photos should be identical on your site, on Google, and every OTA and anywhere else that you're posting. And think of it this way, one broken link in this chain and the guest books elsewhere. The stakes of consistency have never been greater across all of your platforms than they are today. So here's your actionable moves. You want to create a single source of truth. You want to create a one-page internal document with your official hotel name as it should appear on any new sites. This should be a document that you can give to your external vendors or anyone that's helping you with your distribution strategies. You want to have your top 10 amenities, your top 10 approved photos with files and alternate text, and you want to review this and update it on a quarterly basis and distribute to your entire team so that everyone is on the same page as they're doing this. So you think in sales, when a meeting planner might be putting information about your hotel on their website, that's going to get picked up by AI. So you want to make sure that they're being consistent with what you're publishing across all the other platforms so that, again, the trust and the reliability is showing up the same everywhere. Sync monthly, compared your single source of truth to Expedia, Booking, TripAdvisor, Google Business Profiles, fix mismatches in names, addresses, telephone numbers, room names, and policies. Repurpose smartly, one story, many doors, such as site blog, your Google business post, Instagram, short OTA, what guests love type of sentence. You want to track your links from social media to site using UTM tags to see what actually drives bookings, such as Google Campaign URL Builder. There's a link there that we'll provide. And then owner check. Log into each portal monthly, clear alerts, add fresh media, and complete any improvement on your listing task. Stories beat features. Features are what we basically tell our guests. A strong, reputable narrative tells travel across channels. Think about the power of influencers. They're sharing stories. So this is more about showing versus telling. So an example theme might be sunset on a rooftop. So how would that play out in terms of a story? Well, on your website, you might have a hero shot of rooftop cocktails over the skyline. On your Google business profile, you may have the latest sunset photo, same caption, Instagram post. You might on Reel have a 15 or 30-second time lapse of the golden hour on your rooftop, and an OTA headline snippet, guests love evening views from our rooftop bar. But it's going to be consistency across all channels and platforms that's going to carry this story through on multiple channels. You need to make it guest focus. Stories matter because we remember and retell them. If a guest leaves saying, "We watched the sunset from a rooftop bar," that story sells more. That story sells your hotel more powerfully than just simply listing rooftop bar as a feature. Highlight measurable impact. Add a line that connects stories to business outcomes. Properties with strong storytelling see higher engagement on Instagram and produce 20 to 30 more clicks on OTA listings and brand.com. Your story should be visible, verifiable, provable, and consistent. Photos and reviews will back up and make your story much more trustworthy as you craft that narrative with your guests and with the things that you do. So here's an actionable items for you. Pick 3 repeatable themes: sunset on the roof, family, adventure base, a wellness escape. Build consistency across platforms. Use the same headline, visuals on your site, Google Business Platform, Instagram, OTAs. Use visuals and captions that tell the story. Show a couple enjoying cocktails at sunset instead of just a blank image, a stock image of the rooftop bar. Leverage reviews as proof. Highlight guest quotes that match your story. The rooftop view was the highlight of our trip. And measure impact. Track engagement on social, like shares, saves, likes, and clicks on OTAs to see which stories are covering the best and getting you the greatest results. Click-through is dead. Discoverability is the new KPI. So predictive monitoring really matters now more than ever. Hotels are no longer competing only on price and photos. AI platforms surface results by patterns and predictive signals. And predictive monitoring is tracking signals, search rankings, AI summaries, review trends, booking data to spot patterns early on so you can adjust before problems or the competitors overtake you. Competitors who monitor their AI visibility, how often they appear in AI summaries, Google AI overviews, etc., get ahead of those who don't. Think of it like weather forecasting. You're not just seeing today's sky, you're predicting the storm before it hits. Visibility is your new battleground. If you're not watching it, you're invisible. Tomorrow's winners aren't reacting, they're anticipating. Hotels that are waiting for negative reviews are missed bookings, and it's already too late. Predictive monitoring helps you fix issues before the guest even experiences a problem. So what can you do? Your actionable moves here. Track your competitors on Google Business Profile and OTAs. Compare your photos to theirs, their reviews, their freshness. Set up alerts with Google Alerts or SemiRush, which is a paid service for competitor brand mentions. You can even create daily reports in Gemini, which you can highlight what report you want to see on a daily basis. Create a simple weekly visible log. Google AI overviews, Google AI summaries that appear at the top of the search results, visibility log, a simple spreadsheet just showing when your hotel shows up versus competitors. Work with the operations team to focus on fixing defects before they become issues, and study your competitors. What are they struggling with, and how can you capitalize on their shortcomings? KPIs and why new KPIs and analytics matter. Traditional KPIs, clicks and likes, are now simply vanity measurements. The new goal is discoverability. How often AI recommends you before guests even click. Hotels measure presence in AI-driven answers. will know their true market relevance. So, for example, a rooftop bar isn't just about impressions anymore. It's about how often AI highlights it in its answer box when guests are searching for it. So your actionable moves here, and there's some really good stuff here to look at when you have a few minutes to mess around with it. But you want to create maybe a trackability or a track a discoverability index. How often do you appear in Google AI overviews, OTA summaries, and voice assistants? These are really powerful free tools. Look at Google Trends. If you haven't been on there, you can see what's trending, because then you can shape your narrative more to what customer sensitive is. And if you've never been on Answer the Public, that is the most powerful website that I know. AnswerThePublic.com. You can ask it, tell me about my hotel. What are people searching on my hotel? You can put your website in or your URL in, and you will basically get all the questions that are being asked about your hotel overall from that website. Get on there, play with that. That's a really impressive piece there. And you'll see how you might want to start forming, especially if you're getting a lot of FAQs that are really high, you want to form your narrative around those. So Answer the Public I can't endorse that enough. It's you get 3 searches a day free, and then they have a paid service to look at. Stop over tracking clicks. Everybody's too focused on clicks. That's not the focus as we move forward. Percentage of queries where your hotel appears and frequency of competitor mentions versus you. The landscape is changing here. And align your staff goals with discoverability, not just likes or clicks. So why generative platforms matter? Why generative versus AI, agentive AI, if you don't know the difference. Generative AI creates new outputs, text, images, summaries. Agentive AI does not generate. It acts on your behalf. It monitors, triggers alerts, updates, booking ads automatically. Every major platform from Google, Expedia, TikTok is rolling out generative AI, which again is different from agent. Agentic AI does something. Generative AI responds to specific things. Early adapters get algorithm boost. AI remembers the first mover. It knows who's moving first, and it recognizes you because it's looking at all your activity. For example, Expedia lets users book directly from AI trip plans, especially on hotels.com now. If your hotel isn't testing there, you're not going to exist or show up in those journeys. Being late is going to mean being locked out of these platforms, because you're going to be too far behind the learning curve to catch up at some point, and you really will fall behind. So what are your actionable items? Experiment, test, and stay up to date. Expedia Open World, they're not accepting any participants now, but again, these are things you would want to keep track of, is experimenting with AI booking tools. They have some information on expediagroup.com open-world-accelerator. You can read a little bit about what they're doing in their AI testing, and then look at your Google Hotel ads through the Google Hotel Center, which is AI pulling live rates, et cetera, back into Google. That's your meta there. Run small tests on Instagram Reel, convert TikToks to upload YouTube Shorts, see how AI is surfacing it. Encourage staff experiments. One front desk video can become an AI surfaced highlight. And review quarterly list platforms using generative AI and confirm that your hotel is well integrated. Just a couple more minutes. We're coming up to the last section, so thanks for your patience. Give you a time check there. So visibility is survival, and invisibility is bankruptcy. So here's your 3 takeaways from today's presentation. AI is the new gatekeeper. Travelers no longer scroll. They trust the answers they're given. Trust must be earned. Reviews, consistency, and structured data will now define your reputation more than ever. And freshness wins. Stale content on your digital footprint is going to make you invisible. Regular updates are going to keep you in the game. And how to start tomorrow. So if you do nothing else, you can start here tomorrow. Audit your presence. run your site through Google's rich results test and your page speed insights, just on those two websites alone, and at least understand where's your speed and how are you performing on those channels. Fix your foundations. Align your name, address, telephone number across all of your listings. If you do nothing else, start with that checklist and make sure that's consistent everywhere. Feed the machine. Add one Google business profile post per week and keep reviews flowing. And then pick one story, sunset, rooftop, family, etc., and push it across every channel that you can think of as you move ahead. So I'm going to take a look and see Russell. I'm going to try to see if I can activate you here. Let's see if I can turn you on. Bear with me 1 second here. Nope, I can't. Well, I'm going to try to see if there are some questions. If you have any questions, you may want to write in the chat or Q&A. Would love to answer them. And if not, you can certainly email me with any of your questions. But the goal of this was to just get you a little bit informed with the technology and where things are going so that you can start thinking about how you're going to be integrating AI into your distribution models as you move ahead. And this presentation will be available on YouTube on Monday, along with some additional resources. And we'll send a link to everybody that participated as well. So please feel free to share. Thanks very much for your attendance, and hope you all have a great afternoon.